though the god bird is none the wiser, of course. Always so oblivious. Always so willing to help out. What else? What else? They have a tendency to bury seeds and forget about them, accidentally planting trees in the process. They also have symbiotic relationships with many creatures of the forest. They exclusively eat berries and fish for their diet. They recognize and actively admire their reflection. That fact is so you. They decorate their nests with colorful little objects and pretty flowers. They, mate for life. I can't really remember that much about them. Freya pays more attention to these sorts of things. She's much more diligent with those details. Logical and level-headed, which I love, naturally. Though, when I mentioned that the bird's feathers were the exact same shade as your eyes, she got all sappy on me, saying that maybe they're you, reincarnated. I know that isn't true, of course. First of all, I'd be so mad if I traveled all the way to the land of spirits to speak to you, only to find out that I could have talked to you and a little nature preservation this entire time. But really, I knew that she wasn't right because I know you. Of all the animals, you would never choose something so small. And you always hated birds, mainly because I liked them so much. You would always rant about how they'd follow me around, perplexed and irritated that they were mysteriously drawn to me, and equally annoyed that I would always indulge their curiosity. You never figured it out, huh? They only followed me everywhere because I put birdseed in my pockets. And I liked having them around because they would always attack or poop on your shiny outfit. Oh, accoutrements. Freya got mad at my dismissal of her theories, of course. She tried offering other alternatives, like, what if they were a sign from the universe, or sent by you to watch over me? But, frankly, I don't see the need to be so sentimental about it. They're just birds. Sure, they remind me of you, but I mean, when I think about it, you becoming a bird? That's so ridiculous, but sending them to watch over me, that's... Freya confuses me so much when she gets like that. She's such an interesting juxtaposition. But I guess humans are living contradictions, aren't they? Part of the reason I agreed to take her in was because she's human. And I wanted to see if I could learn more about your kind. Maybe even amend some regrets. It's interesting, though. I see a lot more of myself in her than I see you. Though I'm not sure if I have the right to claim if that's really the truth or not. Since with you, I never got to. Let's let the stars speak tonight. I think I want to thank you. I'd always seen elves as something stagnant, something eternal, unchanging. We're born, we live as perpetual anachronisms, and then we're gone. Maybe that was the case for a long, long while for me too. That is, until you came along. I started changing, slowly, steadily. And now, I've left you behind, haven't I? And maybe I didn't even realize how much I changed in the moment during my time with you. No, I know I didn't recognize the change within me when I was with you. Because now, I'm traveling with a human version of my old self. I see her get angry. I see her resolve. I watch her make friends, make mistakes, and I'm able to help her through it now. Something I'm certain the past me would never have been able to do. So, thank you. It's odd. More time has passed since your death than the period of time that I knew and traveled together with you. And yet, I always find myself looking back to those days. There are things and places that are now forever associated with you and Hans and Lutz. Sights and sounds that will always bring to mind the image of your stupid grin. Distilled memories preserving those moments in time. Isn't that funny? How something so short can have such a lasting impression. I don't think I would have changed a thing. Yes, there are things that I regret, but part of this growth, as you might call it, it came from all that I didn't know, and all I had to recognize. These old paths are so strange to walk. Some are so different that I hardly recognize them. Some are so unchanged that I keep expecting to turn my head and see you walking right beside me, smile lighting up the forest, laughing at some inside joke. Inside jokes I'm only now starting to understand. Humans just feel so much all at once, but it takes us elves more time to process, to reflect. We can afford that. It can be hard to be around us, I think. To acknowledge this fundamental difference between us, yet still be able to accept us. Few mortals are able, and I think that's why most of us don't grow close to humans anymore. That's also strange, that the duty of patience is put onto the being with less time to spare. It's unfair now that I think about it, and I wouldn't blame you for resenting me for it. But you always were different though, weren't you? We just see certain things differently too, sometimes. You made me want to bridge this gap, but even I can't deny that we'll always have these distinctions. I think that's okay. I like to think that I'm always learning more, that I'm steadily building to understand humans even more. I like to think I'm understanding you just a little bit more. Oh, that's one thing. One thing I noticed is the difference between would like and wish. Humans seem to use them interchangeably, wielded on the battlefield or whispered on sleepless nights, charged and utilized based on the whims of your many, many emotions. But I think there's a subtle difference between them. Certain situations where one feels more right than the other. Would have liked implies that there's room to rectify, that there's still a bit of hope for something to happen again. It's disappointing, but it's softer, like a sigh that ends with a shake of the head and a smile, ever looking forward. A wish is so much sadder, don't you think? An impossibility, a burden you can only pass on to dying stars and floating dandelion seeds, lost to the wind, forever stuck looking back. I would have liked to have told all my traveling companions how much they've changed my life. I wish you knew how much you meant to me in the end. I would have liked to have recognized the winding down of an adventure, the coming end of a long, drawn-out journey. I wish I could have spent just one more day with you. I would have liked to have celebrated all that I've done and all that I've changed. I wish you were here to see it. And another thing, missing someone. Humans always seem to be missing someone. I always understood conceptually how you all felt, but I can never really empathize. Maybe I never really held on to anything long enough to miss it. Maybe I'm still too lacking in my knowledge of humans to recognize it. Even now, I feel like I don't fully understand, but I'm trying. I think missing someone is much more active. A constant yearning, a reaching out for something that has escaped your grasp, something that was never yours, something you're desperately hoping will choose to return to you. I think what I feel is more like an ache. Nothing so noble as the act of missing someone. It's a selfish and simple truth. The feeling that something is missing, that something was part of you, that you loved it, that it's gone. It's more drawn out. It's more subtle, flaring up at times, and there's that acceptance. The knowledge that the thing you're missing will never come back, but that its absence will always be felt. Does that make sense? I don't miss you. You're missing from me. Yes, I think that sounds right. You're missing from me. I think that's all I have to say for tonight. I'm getting a little tired now. I don't know if I should make my way back to the tent or if I'd rather stay out here with you. Could we do this again? This was rather nice. Thank you. I can't wait to talk to you again. Oh, I almost forgot. Good night.